to Oilers Nation Everyday with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
Pour up a coffee, settle in. It's trade deadline day. Welcome in, everybody.
I was not. I know we talked directly about you not doing a lead, but I just didn't see myself on the camera immediately. I don't remember the last time we had a wide shot open. Caught me off guard. I'm still trying to think of those two Canucks.
Well, you're still sleepy because you slept through your alarms today.
Yeah, I slept. I had an alarm set for 6:30 and 6:45, and I woke up just right at 7, unprompted. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean,
thank goodness.
Lucky us.
Otherwise, you would be. If I was at home right now, you know I'd be in trouble. And it wouldn't be my fiance that would be yelling at me.
I woke up at 4:30 today and didn't fall back asleep.
Just so excited.
Oh, I woke up, had to piss. You
You
go piss, tap my phone to see what time it is because I had a dream where I thought it was 6:30. So I'm like, oh, I got to get up anyways. So I tap my phone. I'm like, God damn it, it's 4:30. Then I was like, oh my God, why do I have like 25 Twitter notifications? Then I open them up and I'm like, holy shit, John Carlson got traded?
Oh, yeah. That what happened right as I was going to bed last night. So it was.
I was asleep. I missed the Garland deal too.
I watched the Canucks Conversation, emergency episode for a little bit. They had an interesting debate on if he wasn't extended, how much more would they have got for him? Like, it was
Garland.
It was similar. Yeah, it was similar in our conversation, actually, for the Dickinson Mangiapane trade yesterday, where I was on the side of like, well, that was just a price, and you were saying, well, if Mangiapane was whatever, right? They were saying how for Garland, if he didn't have the extension, do they get a first?
No.
And that was Quad's argument. Harmon was saying it's like, well, even if they did get a first, what much more would there have been?
Yeah.
You know? So I don't think they really, either way, I think they were pretty happy that the contract is gone, I guess you could say. But Columbus got a really good player yesterday. I do love Connor Garland. I would have loved him as an Oiler. But the contract, the Oilers couldn't absorb it. But if he was a free agent, like just pending, I think he would have been honestly right up there at the top of my list.
Because he could have been retained 50%. I think he's overrated.
I think he's become overrated.
I think he's overpaid. That's a better way to phrase it.
Yeah.
$6 million is too much for a guy who won't get you more than 20 goals.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree. But I think on a good team, he's very effective.
Yeah, I think if he's a $3-4 million guy on a competitor, like he's a really valuable piece. I can see why Columbus did this because, one, they don't give a shit about cap space. They have so much cap space.
Did they win yesterday?
Yes, they did.
They
right
won,
there.
And they completed the trade, I guess.
They're 1 point back of the Boston Bruins right now. 3 back of the Habs. 3 back of the Islanders with 2 games in hand. They can catch them for that divisional spot.
So they probably look at this and think, okay, even if we don't make it this year, we've got an impactful player for the next 6 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy
to sign a guy to that, give him a no-move clause, then just trade him before the new no-move clause kicks in.
I'm standing by my statement yesterday. I said it very briefly. The NBA has become, the NHL is becoming the NBA.
How so?
First round picks just gone. Players with term traded. What do we get? I think we know Mackenzie Weegar.
Yeah.
Garland.
Yeah, 2 guys. Weegar's in year 2 of an 8-year deal.
Thomas and Parayko.
Could go.
It's happening, people. I like it. I think it should be like this. I think teams shouldn't just wait around and be like, oh, well, what if we're good? And this guy finally turns 34 and things all of a sudden become great.
Can I tell you a little bit as to why I think that's the case?
Because it's not...
the flat cap era's over, right?
Oh, yes,
We had that run of 3-4 years where everyone was so razor thin that, like, the only trades that were happening were double retention deals for rentals.
Yeah.
So, like, guys with term weren't getting moved because no one at the deadline could afford them. And I think now you're seeing money start to open up. And the other thing that's happening is, again, in years past, every team kind of had a handful of similar assets because no one was making trades. So every team had a handful of assets, but no one had cap space. And now every team has cap space, so you're seeing more of a premium put on assets, and it's driving up prices, supply and demand. It's economics 101, Liam.
Never took it.
Neither
All
did I.
bio 20.
And like J-Rock says, thank you for the super chat, J-Rock, a $6 million guy is a $4 or $5 million guy tomorrow with the rising cap. I think that's totally true. I also think that's going to get some teams in trouble. because they're going to sit there and go, oh, $6 million guy is going to be a $4 million guy in a couple of years. And then slowly that'll creep into like, well, then let's give him like 6.5 and just get the player. And then all of a sudden you're going to be left with really painfully average players on your team making $6.5 million, which is what Connor Garland is. He's a good player, but he's not a $6 million player. You can find Connor Garland's out and about for less than that. He's not a unicorn.
I think he was a few years ago, it felt like. But not so much anymore, I would agree.
2 years ago, they gave him permission to seek a trade.
Yeah, I guess. Was he the player that McKinnon threw the helmet at?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Former Coyote.
Yeah, we'll do some predictions in a second here, but one story, let's talk Oilers here. Well, actually, let's talk John Carlson really quick. Pat, do you want to flash up the deal? This one's crazy. John Carlson is like first in all-time games played, points, goals, all that stuff. He is first in every metric by a defenseman in Capitals history. They traded like a franchise icon in the middle of the night. It was 1:15 Eastern when this deal went down. It's a first and a third going back to Washington. I'm stunned Washington's punting. I honestly am. And I mean, hey, you get a first-round pick back, and maybe you're sitting there as the Caps being like, if they lose in the first round, this pick's going to be like 16th or 17th, like giddy up. But their 4-point games in hand mess with the whole thing.
What's the condition on that? Just if they win, it's like a second.
They got to make the playoffs this year.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, the first-round pick slides a year.
Okay, and it just becomes unprotected?
I think so, yeah.
Damn, that would be
crazy.
A good one, too. I do think Ducks have made the playoffs for a few years in a row now. I think they're just in that stage of their life. Crazy deal. He is a UFA at the end of the year, correct?
Yeah, so this is a rental.
I think one thing, too, as Oilers fans, if you're trying to compare this deal to stuff Edmonton has done, he is a pending UFA, like you said, and they didn't retain anything.
He's an $8 million AAV, so even at 50% retained, the Oilers really couldn't have afforded a guy like that. That's where, again, the Ducks are flexing their muscles, and I was on the big program today.
You were on already?
Yeah, 7:20 in the morning. I've been here for a minute, bro.
Wow.
I left my house at 6:30.
I was just getting out of the shower.
Left my house at 6:30, went, filled it with gas, bought washer fluid, filled it up in the parking lot of the Petro-Can, went to Tim's, got my coffee,
you can
got my
just
bagel.
go in the thing that they clean the windows with?
Yeah, but I didn't have like a cup to scoop with.
I know, and also, too, you definitely shouldn't do that.
No, probably
I've
not.
seen people pee in those.
Oh, I'm not that worried about scooping out piss.
But you probably shouldn't put piss in your window washer fluid. What if it's acidic? I mean, after a few drinks, that shit ain't clear. No. If it's lime green when you pull it out, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be blue.
Okay, I forget what we're talking about.
John Carlson.
Oh, yeah, John Carlson. So I was on with the big program today, and I compared this Ducks team, and we've done this comparison too. And if you watch Daily Faceoff in an hour, I'm probably going to say the same thing again. But the Oilers in 2017, young team, cap space, assets. Oh, my God, Connor and Leon on these great contracts. They're looking like a playoff team. Cam Talbot, is he going to be a Vezina finalist? Davidson for Desharnais.
It's the biggest. It's the
biggest what if in the Connor McDavid era.
I think so too, because it was the first what if.
Yeah,
it really was.
Well, second. The first one is what if they didn't trade for Griffin Reinhart?
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's fair. God damn it.
But like they had this opportunity. They go up 2-0 against the Ducks that year in that playoff series. They won both games on the road, and then they choked it. And you have to think like, man, if you would have made a first-round pick for somebody, I know I want to Google who moved at that deadline too.
I'm looking it up. Let's go down memory lane. So that would be 2017.
Yeah, 2017 trade deadline. Every trade completed at the 2017 trade deadline.
The others also got Justin Fontaine that year too.
For Taylor Beck. Oh, Mike McKenna got moved. Anyways, if the Oilers would have just made another splash.
Yeah.
Could they have beaten the Ducks that year? Could they have gone on a run? Instead, they kept their powder dry, and they didn't do anything. I look at the Ducks this year and go, you have all this cap space. You have all these assets. Why would you not push some chips in and be like, F it, the Pacific Division's wide open. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm just looking. There's really not like a ton of names that got traded, to be honest. Like one of the best I've seen so far, Thomas Vanek was traded to Montreal.
Hansel.
But mine Hansel famously went to Minnesota and did not fit at all.
Yeah, it was.
Doobie's told us that one. Kevin Shattenkirk looks like he was the biggest name.
But there was a few defensemen here that are like decent-looking D-men.
Oh,
but this
like,
was a weirdly quiet deadline.
Kyle
yes.
Quincy was a good player.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys. But I just think of that Oilers blue line. Did they need a defenseman? I feel like they probably need another forward.
I mean, they were playing like Matt Benning.
But Matt Bennett was having a good season. I guess,
Yeah.
that would
Right,
be
but,
like,
like, you
that'd be
could have
like playing
upgraded.
Emerson a lot right now. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways,
So
I just
Paul's
think
pretty
like
good.
if they would have found a way to go all in, like that was the time to do it. And I think sometimes these teams just like sit here and are like, well, we're not like authentic contenders. We shouldn't go all in. And it's like, well, if you have this good young core, you believe in them, like show them you believe, right?
Yeah, let it ride. I completely agree. Like, let the good times roll and see what you can accomplish. Because and the other part of it too, which becomes a bit ironic, is when you get to that point of like, okay, we can go by and like we might not win, but we might get close.
Yeah.
And prior to that, it's all about experience. These young guys need games played. They got to get so many under their belt. Like, we got to get rid of all these veterans. But when the experience actually gets to the point where it matters and that you can gain some, they don't want to do it.
Someone asked, I'm surprised John Carlson didn't have a no-trade clause. He had a 10-team no-trade list. Obviously, the Ducks weren't on it. Yeah. And the other thing you can do right now if you're Anaheim, if you want to go all in, one, your cap picture is crystal clear for the next few years. And two, you're Anaheim. If you bring in a rental, you got to be pretty confident in your ability to re-sign him. Like, if they have Carlson this summer, and look, Trouba UFA, Gudis UFA, handful of RFAs, if you were to go to Carlson and be like, hey, you're 36, you want to play for 2 more years? 2 years, $8 million a year. It will not handcuff you going forward. You'll probably get to keep the guy, and you'll have a good veteran to surround your young guys with. Like, this was a great deal for Anaheim. They knocked it out of the park with this move.
How about the other deal that went down, which if you're a Buffalo Sabres fan, I'd be upset to go from Robert Thomas to Colton Parayko to Luke Shen.
Yeah, the Luke Shen, Logan Stanley deal. Well, you like Logan Stanley.
I like Logan Stanley. I do. I think he's a perfectly adequate player. I just think to go again, like to run through that kind of maze they had last couple of days of they're just reports that didn't come to fruition, I guess. But I'd be upset. And what did they give up? 2nd round pick, Isaac Rosen. God, that was way too much.
Isaac Rosen was a 1st round pick 4 drafts ago.
Yeah, 14th overall. He was a point per game player in the American League and had like 8 points in just shy of 20 games this year, I think. I think he scored. Oh, no, it was Noah Ostlund who scored.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. And it just seemed unnecessary to spend that much on a guy in Luke Shen, who probably won't be in your 7. I know Stanley's probably the idea.
He might be there. Shen will be there, number 7.
Sorry, 6. I meant in their 6. He won't play every night. I think Luke Shen and Logan Stanley are perfectly fine players, and I like them both individually. I just imagine that in Oilers terms where it's like, okay, you're giving up a 2nd, and like maybe they don't quite have the similar assets, but equivalent would be like, if that was the Quinn Hudson deal, I'd actually be a bit upset about that one. I feel like that doesn't make the Oilers that much better.
If the Oilers didn't get Murphy, you wouldn't have been upset with Hudson in a 2nd for Shen and
Stanley.
You like Stanley.
I like
about a 1st for Stanley.
I don't think I was ever on the 1st trade. I thought it was going to be a little bit less. I just don't think that's a good trade for Buffalo. And it's hard to compare the two situations, I guess. You're right. Quinn Hudson probably would have been fine. The others don't have as many high-end prospects as what Buffalo does. But I just thought Isaac Rosen was looking promising for them. I think he should have been in the NHL more consistently.
Here's a chestnut checkers question from Super Wing. Does Buffalo get Braden Shen now? Was this their plan? It's like, hey, we know St. Louis likes Yaremchuk in the 1st. We're just going to trade him for Braden Shen now, and we'll Braden waive in order to
play with his brother
for a bit.
That would be big brain thinking.
If you can call Braden beforehand and be like, we're going to extend Luke. We will give Luke a 2-year extension if you waive this no movement clause.
I guess maybe. That's not bad. I never thought about that. That's why you're a Super Wing, and I'm just Liam.
All right, we're going to get to some deadline predictions. We're going to do some fill in the blank. But first, a tweet from Kevin Weeks that I know has all you in the YouTube chat buzzing. Also, how many people are watching? Pretty good for 8 in the morning.
Yeah, not bad. Thanks, everyone, for getting up or just going on with your regular day.
Early morning rumblings from Kevin Weeks. Per sources, Bobrovsky, Wallstedt, Ingram, Binnington, Stolars, and Skinner have been discussed in different potential trade scenarios. Goalie market is intriguing. Why did he list Connor Ingram? I tweeted, like, what do you mean Connor Ingram, kind of? And someone said, do Ingram and picks for Anthony Stolarz. First off, can't afford it. Second off, why trade for the worst goalie?
Yeah, Anthony Stolarz wouldn't be the one for me to get. Although, of course, the one game that he played against the Oilers, he was a superstar. Mm-hmm. I think Stolarz is a good goalie. I just don't see the Oilers making a goalie trade today.
Yeah, so Rashog says the Oilers are content with their goaltending, but will do their due diligence if options become available to them. And Kevin Weeks went on TSN, I believe, and said the Oilers and Bobrovsky's camp have had conversations.
I'm sure they have. They should have. I don't think that means much more than like, hey, what's the asking price? Like, because what does Bobrovsky's camp mean? Does that mean his agent? Does that mean Bill Zito? Because Bill Zito and Stan Bowman were both on Team USA's staff, so they probably did talk about options.
Can I give you? I'm pretty out on Bob. I think he's having a dog shit year. I think he's in his late 30s. Yeah. And I think just pointing at a guy and going, but look how good he was in the playoffs. That was a hell of a team in front of him. He's a great goalie. He's the reason the Oilers don't have a Stanley Cup. I'm not really throwing shade on who Bob was.
Yeah.
I'm throwing shade on who I think Bob can be. And I am not 100% sold on Bob being a solution. What I will say, and this is probably where they had conversations, if I'm Stan Bowman, I pick up the phone and I call Bill Zito and I say, you're open to moving Bob? He says, yes. I go 50% retained. He says, yep, we'll do it if it means we get the deal done. And then I say, all right, well, then you're taking Tristan Jarry back in this deal.
Yeah, I would go right down to whatever Jarry's cap hit is and just try and match them both.
And then at that point, I'd be giving up an asset because I'd go, well, I'm getting out of Jarry's contract. And that's a big positive for me.
I think it would have to be Jarry for Bobrovsky and then whatever else is in the deal. I don't know if I'm all the way out on Jarry yet. And
no, but like if there is a deal for Bob that involves getting rid of him,
no, I agree. I am just saying that you just made all these ads for defensive help, which the assumption would be that you think your defense is the problem or the bigger part of the problem, that you should probably just let your goalie come in and do that. Colby, yeah, we get it. He was on waivers last year. It was a totally different scenario than like what a regular scenario would be for a player like Tristan Jarry.
Yeah, and I mean also that he was on waivers late in the season. No one had money.
Yeah, and also too, there's like a mental health thing in there. There's like a ton of stuff that went on that side of things with Jarry. It wasn't just as straightforward as like, this guy sucks, get him on waivers. It was a bit more layers to it and a bit more context, which I think you're missing. But yeah, we did trade for him. He also, by the way, had a .909 save percentage when the Oilers traded for him. What's it today?
Jarry?
Like an 8-something?
I mean, on the year now, he is an 890. With Pittsburgh, he was 909. With Edmonton, he's an 864.
So, Jarry didn't just completely fall off a cliff. And Stuart Skinner didn't become one of the best goalies in the league.
There's a problem with the team in front of him.
There's a common denominator here, and I think a lot of us are missing those layers, and the layers are the 5 players in front of him.
Yeah. I am with you on that. We're going to do some trade deadline predictions here, Liam. And our trade deadline predictions are brought to you in a presentation of GMC. Truck Month is on right now, and that means it's your opportunity to get into a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab at 0% financing for 72 months. You're getting a 2-inch factory lift with off-road suspension, a powerful 5.3-liter V8 engine, and a commanding presence that demands attention. Hurry in to go see the Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab in person and take advantage of Truck Month before it ends. Trade deadline predictions, Liam. Pat, do you want to flash up Matt Larkin's top 10 for us? I don't know if we have all 10 or if it's 1 through 5.
I think it's all 10.
It's all 10 on one board.
Double-sided.
Double-sided. Let's go. Here are the top 10 on our Daily Faceoff trade deadline board for GMC and Truck Month. We're going to drop our predictions for each one of these guys, Liam. First up is Blake Coleman of the Calgary Flames. Now, Flames ownership has been a little bit hesitant to retain money. We heard that with the Nazem Kadri rumors.
Yeah.
Blake Coleman, 1 more year on his deal at $4.9 million AAV. We do need to fix that. I'm just saying that because it's on my mind. But he's got one more season after this one at $4.9 million. He's got some trade protection. 34-year-old Liam. Matchmaker time. The best fit for Blake Coleman is who?
I feel like this team isn't just going to sit there again. So I'm going to say Detroit.
Ooh, add some depth to the wings in Detroit. Pun intended.
Yeah, I could see that. Stevie Y, was he the one who got... Stevie Y never won in Tampa.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's case
so it must have been Breezewell. But either way, I still think he's going to go to Detroit. That'd be my guess.
My prediction's Tampa Bay. Right now, they have $3.1 million in cap space.
I got a different name for Tampa.
Okay. 13 forwards on the roster. So they could take... They got a couple of guys here, and like Sabrin and Douglas is on waivers.
Yeah.
So if they put Sabrin and Douglas down when they acquire Coleman, that's 1.5-ish they'd free up. That puts them up to having 4.7-ish million in cap space. And then they're also currently carrying 8 D-men. So they could send down that Charles-Edouard Daoust, and that would be the rest of the money. They could afford Blake Coleman straight up with just the money that they have sitting there.
That's a good one.
I think Tampa for Coleman. Robert Thomas, tons of term, $8.125 million. This is a star-level top-line center. What fit do you like for Robert Thomas?
Well, he's not going to have to go very far because he ain't going anywhere. My fate is the St. Louis Blues. I mean, at the end of the day, you just laid out the money, 8.125. There's only a few teams that can obviously get that done. Buffalo looks like they're probably out of the picture now with the trade they just made. I don't think Detroit will do it. And I know there's a lot of speculation on Utah, but I just wonder why would St. Louis trade that guy within their division? Like, and I'm not ever against in division trades, but that one to me, you're allowing that guy to sit there for 6 more years? It just seems like a bit of a mess if you were to do that.
I have a really hard time with this one because I just think like the cat's out of the bag a little bit. Like, are you really going to keep that guy around after the rumors have been so heavy? I almost think that with a lot of St. Louis's guys.
I think Doug Armstrong, I almost called him Dom Armstrong. Doug Armstrong has done a bad job.
Yeah. Minnesota's getting Bobby Brink from Philly. That's an interesting one.
Former Denver Pioneer.
That might have a little bit of like a ripple effect somewhere. I'll say Detroit for Robert Thomas, maybe. If I have to say someone, if I'm not just going to like agree and say no one.
Okay.
I'll say Detroit. I think they got assets, and I think Steve Yzerman's going to get a really itchy trigger finger. Remember last year, Dylan Larkin like called them out?
Yeah.
And was like, we didn't add. Like, we should have added. Okay, well, now they're in a playoff spot. I think they got to do something.
I agree. And I think I do have a name for Detroit on my list.
Bobby Brink for David Yaremchuk is the deal.
David Yaremchuk, the man who forced his way out of Columbus and still stinks.
Yeah, and is going to Philly.
Well, hopefully his third team in the NHL before playing more than 50 games will help him.
Who's your fit for Trocheck?
Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
They always swing big.
Ooh.
And like you kind of laid out, the money should work. Maybe they have to send like Pontus Holmberg to New York.
They could also like Bjorkstrand's a pending UFA. They could flip Bjorkstrand somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So there's ways to do it. Tampa always seems to get a name we don't fully expect them to get. They've got a lot of team-friendly contracts. They've done a good job. And again, Trocheck would be a fit. Basically, you just make Trocheck. You fit guys like Trocheck into your lineup.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a good fit.
Nazem Kadri, number 4.
I think he's just going to stay.
I think he's going to stay too.
Yeah.
I think Dallas has kind of made their moves. Colorado got their center. Minnie, I think, is going to be in other markets and isn't going to be shopping that hard for him. I think he's staying, and he'll move at the draft.
There was also the rumor earlier in the season, which I'd be curious to see. People were saying maybe Dallas could be in Coleman too. I'm sure there was a report that was saying that Dallas didn't want to spend big at the deadline because they wanted to think about their future a little bit too.
I just think it's tough for them right now with that whole Robertson. I think Dallas will make bigger moves in the summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Colton Parayko, number 5?
Well, it was LA or Anaheim, right?
So now take Anaheim out.
Yeah, and
Pierre LeBrun reporting today he thinks Parayko is going to stay.
But I have him down as stay as well.
Me too. Braden Shen.
What if he went back to LA?
What if you went to, Vegas made a move. I kind of had him circled as Detroit, but I am going to say Buffalo now. I could see him being like, you know what? I want to win. Let's go Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
I like Buffalo's my
Buffalo's a good one. I like what you said before about the team, the brotherly connection there. But also, too, Anze Kopitar kind of called out Holland a little bit yesterday. Not as aggressively as like Dylan Larkin did, but he's like, I'd like us to go and add some guys.
You already got Panarin, bro.
Yeah, you've got the best player on the board. But I'm going to go with Braden Shen, going back to the LA Kings who drafted him all those years ago.
Justin Falk at number 7.
This is the only one I have blank because I have no idea. And I do wonder about Dallas.
I already got Myers, though. Their blue line's pretty full now.
But one of that blue liners is Ilya Lyubushkin still.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would flip him. Maybe flip Lyubushkin or keep him. So their right side right now is their only right shots are Lyubushkin, because Falk's a right shot, right?
Yeah.
So it's Lyubushkin, Myers, Lundqvist, and Petrovic.
Can I throw you a sleeper team for Falk?
Please do.
San Jose. Got term.
But would he waive to go to a team that probably won't make the playoffs? Like, this is a guy who's played over 1,000 games and has like 10 playoff games.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering. His cap hit's not terrible either, to be honest. Like, for a player of his ability, I should say, was it 6, just over 6?
Rasmus Ristolainen at 8.
I put Detroit down for him,
Detroit down too.
Yeah.
This feels like a Stevie Y move.
This feels like a big-time Stevie Y move. A player that's not that good going to the Red Wings. I know, yeah. I think Hartman, I don't see him getting moved unless Trocheck somehow ends up in Minnesota, which seems like it's not going to happen. So I just said Minnesota down for that one.
Yeah, Hartman's not going to move. I don't think they're going to be that hungry to free up the cap space. And number 10, Bobby McMahon, our friend David Pagnotta reporting he will be moved today.
Pittsburgh.
Ooh. That's sneaky, and I don't hate it.
Obviously, Kyle Dubas being a difference there. So
you know where I could see him going to, just because this team's probably going to want to do something? Couldn't you see him going to, like, Seattle?
Yeah, that would be a good move for them. He's a good player. I still wouldn't mind if the others got him. If the others don't get him, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I can't believe you didn't get Bob McMahon. Yeah. Although I did see him at Sobeys, and I really thought he was going to come. But the Penguins, for those of you who don't know, have. So this current cap space is different than projected cap space, right? Like, I've got to go off projected. They have just over 10 million. Kyle Dubas obviously was the GM that would have signed Bob and McMahon.
Current cap space, because they've been accruing all year.
Right? Is it 49 million?
Yeah, they can afford $49 million in cap hits because they've been accruing all season, and they're not in LTIR.
Bonkers.
Crazy.
They could get all of these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get Falk. They're right shots right now. Eric Carlson, they probably don't need.
Yeah, they've Carlson, and they just got Gerard too.
Yeah.
I think they're good.
Yeah, no, they're definitely good.
Yeah.
I think he's a mystery player. He's a mystery player.
Okay, so let's do a couple of like fill in the blank style things here.
Okay.
And that's how we'll kind of wrap this up, because I do the Daily Faceoff live show starts at 9, so giddy up.
Can I give you one fill in the blank to kick it off?
Sure.
Whatever trade Seattle makes, just give me a yes or no, I guess.
I was say this doesn't sound like a fill in the blank.
Shit, cake or not cake?
Okay.
Is it cake?
Is it cake?
Shane Wright is traded today.
Not cake.
Okay.
I think he's more of a gets traded at the draft for a guy with term, some shit like that. I just don't know if he fully gets dangled in a deadline style move.
Yeah. I saw actually a cool link, which I would really like, and I don't think it's going to happen now, is Seattle. There was a bit of rumors about Kent Johnson.
Oh, just
they're going to get Kent Johnson. Matty Benez and Kent Johnson went to Michigan together. Reunite them a little bit.
That would make sense.
I will say they never won in Michigan either together.
Well,
so.
Okay, fill in the blanks. The team that will surprise us the most today is blank.
Tampa. I think if I'm saying Trocheck's going to go, yeah.
They're gonna make a stunner. I will go ahead and say the team that surprises us the most today. I think it'll be a surprise that Carolina doesn't do a lot.
Considering
where they're sitting and how open the East is, you'd think they'd be like, let's hammer this thing down and win. Like, this might be their best chance to win this year.
I don't know if I've seen him in any conversations.
That's what I mean. They're
They
not.
also have 40 million in cap space.
They're rumored in.
You're right. Yeah.
Bob, they're rumored in. But I don't see that. They have Bussy and Anderson. I don't think they'd want Bob.
Anderson does kind of stink, though.
He's having an okay year.
Yeah.
I'll add, I think Montreal is going to try to do something big, but I don't think they will.
I think Bobby McMahon. Montreal will be what the Oilers were in 2017. Where they're like, oh, we got blank fourth line player.
The biggest name that has a chance to move today in your eyes. So like big blockbuster style thing. Is there one that you think maybe has a shot?
Stamkos. I do think he could get moved.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think there's a chance, though.
I don't think he's a superstar, but I think it would like stun a lot of people. I'm still saying Alexis Lafreniere. I could just see the Rangers getting some offer for him. Like, I could see it being like Lafreniere for Wright, and there's like more pieces involved either way.
I could see it being Vegas who gets him, too.
Ooh.
I don't know how, but they always...
Who would they have to dump? You're right. That's a guy who he goes to Vegas, and all of a sudden he's like a Selke-style defender, 25 goals, and it's like, who the hell is this guy?
Becomes the first overall pick.
They would have to move so much money out,
But
though.
don't they have... these guys...
They got Dowd already, right? So that kind of muddied up their cap. Okay.
Trade Lazan.
There is a blank % chance that the Oilers make another trade today.
20. No, I'll go higher. I think it's 50-50. I don't think
I'm
it'll be
50-50
anything
as well.
significant. That's what I would think.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 with you. I'm trying to think of like some names that would make sense and some guys that could be targets. And honestly, AJ Greer is probably the most likely. Would you agree with me on that?
Seems like he's in the conversation.
Yeah. AJ Greer, I think, is the most likely name to come to Edmonton.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a depth piece. A guy who we're going to look at and be like, oh, maybe he could play opening night of the playoffs.
I'm with you. If it's someone like that, I think I've kind of lost faith that it's going to be a top 6 ad.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I'm going to go because in about half an hour, top of the hour, we're going to be live on the Daily Faceoff YouTube, and I got to get things set up on that front. Any other final takes on this? All the people holding out hope for Jesper Wallstedt, I ain't buying it.
Well, someone put up there earlier is like his behind the scenes numbers, analytics, I guess they're called, are like just as bad as what Jars have been with Edmonton recently. I can't remember exactly what they said, but something along those lines. I don't think the Oilers are getting him. I don't think the Oilers are getting a goalie. I think they'll go out and they'll grab somebody. I don't know what it would be, but there is a lot of rumors still out there that the Oilers still could be active. I don't think they're dead in the water yet, which is exciting. I will also say this as we close out. You also don't need to let go of everything today.
Yeah.
I think the Oilers team has the ability to still have great success this season, potentially win the cup. I do think the players have to step up. I also don't think the fact Nurse and Kapanen followed Jared McCann's wife on Instagram last night.
You're not buying that?
I'm not buying that. I'm out on that one.
You don't think before Stan makes a massive trade like that, he calls a bunch of players and says, hey, go follow their wives on Instagram?
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. So, yeah, I think today will be underwhelming for the Oilers, but I think they'll make another deal, and hopefully we can talk about it later.
All right. That is a wrap, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Liam and I are back 1 o'clock Mountain. So that is how we will wrap up Deadline Day, is with a nice little post-deadline show with Liam and I. So come back here, 1 p.m. Mountain. I think Jay's going to be on the show because it is a game day for the Oilers. They play the Hurricanes tonight, so we'll have all of our Bet365 usual stuff later. It's a game day edition for Capital Buick GMC. We'll talk about them and all of that fun stuff a little bit later on. And who knows, maybe there will even be a new Oiler to talk about in a few hours. Daily Faceoff YouTube. That is where you can find me for the rest of the day. Jeff Merrick, Dave Pagnotta, Carter Hutton, Colby Cohen, Johnny Lazarus. The whole gang's over there. So we'll see you all there at the top of the hour. And until then, we'll see if any trades break. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered, from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss